agreement requires an action plan. This sustainable agreement summarizes the activities of the group and other members for the organization agree to perform to make the project succeed. Recognize that an action plan represents change, and people and organizations tend to resist change. Involve members of the team and others in the organization to build an agreement that can be sustained as the problem is solved. We're entering step 4, implement. Select the one solution that seems most likely to solve the problem and seems least likely to cause further problems. Once you make your decision, commit fully to it and do not second-guess yourself. This is an example of an action plan which can help you a great deal in implementing your next solution to a business problem. Let's talk about this in more detail. To do so, the following are the essential elements of building sustainable agreements. First, overcome fear. An action plan represents change, which can threaten someone's job, status, position, budget, or power. Resistance to change increases as the solution becomes more creative and less like habits. Members of your group should discuss their concerns about a plan and understand its benefits before agreeing to it. The group can also work together to identify fears and objections. Groups tend to communicate among themselves, forgetting to share their ideas with larger audiences. This is especially true of teams that have worked together in the same location for some time. As your group starts to develop its action plan, take extra steps to share your ideas and progress with stakeholders and decision makers. Use a variety of open meetings, forums, memos, newsletters, and presentations to communicate across the organization. People are more accepting of change when they have sufficient time to adjust to it. Your group should share ideas and conclusions gradually, allowing time between each new step the group introduces. Welcome discussions about action plans and its steps, but avoid overwhelming people with major new initiatives all at once. Finally, be aware of the periods when your organization is typically busy and avoid starting the steps of the action plan at that time. For example, trying to launch a new product at a public accounting firm in April when employees are struggling to meet tax deadlines would likely be a disaster. The same solution in May, however, might have a warm reception. Now let's take a look at a few do's and don'ts of building sustainable agreements. First, overcome fear. Do recognize that team members and others in the organization will resist change. But don't change tasks, project goals, or part of the team without first discussing it. Then communicate. Do communicate frequently with decision makers and stakeholders, but don't assume a single communication or tool is sufficient. Take a look at these do's and don'ts of building sustainable agreements here or in your business problem-solving guide as you think about how you build great agreements in your decision-making process.